I'm Emma with emmabuzz.com on a special assignment for Dr. J's News. Green is not just a color. It can be a way of life too. Going green can not only save money, protect the planet, but it can be fun too. One way to go green is to recycle. Almost all products that we use today come in some type of packaging. For years, this packaging has been thrown away and discarded in landfills. But today, there is another choice: recycling. More manufacturers are working together to discover new ways to use raw materials, and at the same time, consumers are making a difference by demanding products made with recyclable materials. In nearly all communities, recycling can be as easy as putting your recyclables in a container and setting it out for curb pickup. Let's look at what the process is from here. Here in Cincinnati, there is a company that was one of the forefathers of promoting recycling. Today we are visiting the Rumpke Recycling Plant, one of the largest material recovery facilities in the Midwest. We want to learn more about the process of recycling and how we can make a difference. Ann Gray, educational specialist with Rumpke Recycling, knows all the importance of recycling. Thanks, Ann, for showing us your wonderful plant.
You're welcome.
So, Ann, can you tell us what kinds of items you accept for recycling?
Absolutely. First of all, with plastics, we accept all plastics 1 through 7, but the plastics have to be a bottle or a jug. And to further specify that, the container has to be narrower at the top than at the base. We also accept aluminum cans, also aerosol cans, steel food cans, glass bottles and jars, all different colors of glass, amber, green, blue, clear, all of those. Also the paper products that we accept: junk mail, magazines, phone books, catalogs, corrugated cardboard that has been flattened and broken down into smaller pieces, paper bags. So all of those materials can go all together in a recycling bin or a recycling dumpster.
How are these products collected? Do Rumpke collect them, or do we have to drop them off?
Well, that just depends on where you live and if you opt to have curbside recycling at your home. Sometimes it's just part of the program where you live, and sometimes you would have to opt for that. But there are two methods. You could either put the materials in your curbside bin or put them in a drop box, a recycling drop box.
Do you have to separate the products by type?
You do not have to separate the material. We now utilize single stream technology. This is what our company employs, and what that means is that you can put everything all together in your bin, everything that's acceptable, or everything all together in a recycling drop box, because the separation occurs at our facility.
Once the products are collected, are they brought here or to the landfill?
All of the products, or all of the materials that are recyclables, are brought to our material recovery facility at this location for actually a large radius in this area of southwestern Ohio and northern Kentucky and eastern Indiana. So they come to this facility.
So when they get here, what is the recycling process like? What starts it?
What begins the process? First of all, the trucks come in and are weighed on a scale. They pull around the building then and come over to the tipping floor. And that's the area that we call where the truck empties the load. And at that time, everything is all mixed together. So there's a front end loader out there. The front end loader is moving the material, kind of organizing things, and then loading up a drum feeder, which is really a regulatory device that kind of causes the material to be, quote, fluffed up on the conveyor belt. So it's more consistent when it goes up on the conveyor belt to the first set of sorters.
Why is it called the tipping floor?
Because the trucks tip their load.
Oh, okay. What's next?
After that, we have usually 2 sorters that are the first people to actually take a look at this material. And if there's anything inappropriate, they will pull that out. Anything that could be potentially damaging to our system, and anything that we just don't accept. So that conveyor belt is moving pretty quickly, but they're pulling this material out. Then we have the first set of disc screeners. The main intent of this piece of machinery is to separate the paper or the fiber, mainly the cardboard, from the other containers. So the fiber passes over the top and the containers fall below. So that's next. Then there's a second set of sorters. They're pulling off inappropriate material. They're pulling off cardboard that will be retrieved and baled. And another set of disc screeners that again is separating the material, kind of the fiber from the containers.
Is there anything else that goes into the process?
The next thing that we have would be the T-Tech system. We have 3 of them, T-Tech boxes. It's optical sorting technology, and it helps us again to separate the various pieces of various types of material that we have here. The first one focuses on the newspaper, so it's actually ejecting the newspaper, separating it from the other materials. The second T-Tech box that we have is primarily separating the plastic number 1. And then the third T-Tech box is ejecting and separating the natural plastic number 2, like a milk jug, from a laundry detergent container, something that would be dyed. Sure. Also, there is a steel mag belt, a magnetic belt that attracts the steel food cans, so that's the method that we use to separate those. And again, there are people strategically positioned that are helping to do quality control and making sure that everything is operating the way it should. We also have an eddy current that helps us separate the aluminum. It actually repels the aluminum. It causes it to jump onto a different conveyor belt. So that's the method that we use for that. So in the methods that we use, we're separating all of these different materials. The newspaper is separated and travels the length of the facility overhead, and then is dropped down into a huge, like a mountain of newspaper, loaded up into a truck, and then that goes loose to a location in Franklin, Ohio, where it's turned into paperboard like a cereal box.
Sounds like it's a pretty big circle where we, our consumer, do your part, and then you do your part, and then they come back to us.
That's right, and everybody needs to take the responsibility to purchase products that have been made out of recycled material, because then that completes the whole loop.
Can you give any advice to those who say that recycling is not important or they just don't have the time?
Well, we do hear that sometimes as far as it taking some time, and I think it's basically just getting yourself in the habit. And if you really understand, what is acceptable, so there isn't that dilemma, can I put it in the recycling bin or not?
And thank you so much for the tour and explaining the process of recycling.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming.
When you recycle, you become partners with manufacturers who share the same interest in conserving natural resources. This partnership will save trees by extracting the pulp from recycled papers. Paper products are recycled into a similar type product. Newspapers, for example, are recycled into more newspapers. Steel cans are melted and reused in appliances or cars. Aluminum cans are used for soft drink cans, gutters, and aluminum siding. Recycling plastic saves the petroleum needed to produce plastics. Recycling your water bottle or soda bottle could be your next installation in your jacket or carpet in your new home. Everything that is collected for recycling is used to create new products. At the same time, you are doing your part to save natural resources and save space in the landfill. Recycling is everybody's responsibility. If you are already recycling, great job. If not, do your part to make the world a better place. I'm Emma with emmabuzz.com and Dr. J's News, and I'm so excited about recycling, I'm seeing green.